Come with me to a bondage bar located in the Mapo district of Seoul, South Korea. And make sure you watch all the way to the end to catch my interview with two Americans I met at the bar who have lived in South Korea for the last several years. This night venue is a gathering spot for local Koreans and expats who enjoy underground music, various subcultures, and the ancient art of shibari, also known as kimbaku, which means tight binding, using rope from hemp or jute to create intricate patterns to display on the human body. Shibari originated from the feudal samurai practice known as Hojo Jutsu as a method of restraining prisoners. It eventually evolved into an art form during the Edo period, and by the late 1800s, Japanese kabuki theater began to depict shibari, and by the end of World War II, it became a global sensation for its aesthetics in the West. Continuing to gain prominence through prolific artists over the years, including Nobuyoshi Araki, who has published over 500 photography books, including countless photos with models in kimbaku. He even did a photo shoot with Lady Gaga. Hajime Kinoko is another name you might recognize who performs kimbaku on models, inanimate objects, and even entire buildings. Some of you may recognize Hajime from his episode in the late Anthony Bourdain's television series of Parts Unknown in Tokyo, filmed back in 2013. Over the years, with kimbaku becoming so highly fetishized, the 4 original rules of Hojo Jutsu are rarely mentioned, which were: do not let the prisoner escape, do not cause physical or mental injury, do not allow others to see the technique, and lastly, make the result aesthetically beautiful. Sorry, but there's no shibari performances tonight in this video. I still find it important to mention though, so that you can understand why this bar has a certain aesthetic look to it. From the sultry red light, to the ceiling hooks for kimbaku, and the cute little figurines in bondage. The mastermind behind it all, Gigi, told me himself that he is studying kimbaku. Sadly, my interview with him ended up in a corrupted file, so I'll just have to come back here soon. That's him in the trench coat right there. Super charming, funny, and fluent in English. If you're lucky, you'll get to meet him one day. Also, check out the vacuum cleaner. What a hardworking guy. So this place was a total hole in the wall, and tonight of all nights was actually a Rocky Horror Picture theme night, which is ironic, because they came all the way from America. I didn't know Koreans liked Rocky Horror Picture Show, but anyways, before you enter, you already feel like you're going into another dimension. I had to stop and snap a couple photos of this woman with the eyeball decoration above her. It was very alluring, you could say. Look at all these cute Rocky Horror Picture fans sitting around at this dinner table. Like, I can't believe this is Korea. At this bar in particular, I felt that the Koreans were more interested in talking to me as a foreigner. Maybe because they were more interested in other cultures themselves.
Hi. Hi.
Can I take you?
I take you.
How do you know all the words to Rocky Horror?
You know, in the movie Wallflower, there is some, there is some scene.
Yeah.
So here she's referring to the book and movie The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Steven Chbosky. The main character in that book is a Rocky Horror fan. And I'm impressed because I read that book when I was about 15. I'm at least a decade older than her, and I couldn't name one book from Korea.
You said you're into fashion. Who are some of your favorite designers?
The brand I love is Comme des Garçons, and I love their umbrella shade. And
Very fancy.
I'm not gonna try to pronounce that brand. Please drop it in the comment section below if you are familiar with that brand.
Sorry.
The bar owner, Gigi, told me and my new friend to check out the dark room, which was more like a bondage room. I haven't seen the movie Saw, but it looks like something that would be out of the movie Saw.
I'm gonna move in here.
We took some selfies in here. My new friend Kim Tae-hwa was super good at taking selfies. She told me it's a Korean thing. Shortly after, unfortunately, she had to leave to catch the last subway ride home. I later met 2 Americans who had been residing in South Korea for the last several years. I was curious to hear what their lives were like here, and they agreed to an interview. One of them looked like a younger, taller Prince. Apparently, he gets that all the time. But hey, I'm a huge Prince fan. Who isn't? The other was a DJ who had actually opened earlier this evening with some really dark, sultry disco. So we found ourselves back in the dungeon where we could hear each other because the music was so loud. I quickly learned that they were both very involved in Seoul Community Radio. Check out one of these events they organized.
We're now tuned in with Slow Jam Sundays here at SCR Radio. We got a caller on the line. Caller, what's your problem?
Yeah, I'm just calling for some relationship advice. I've been having some struggles with my girl. She's been tripping about me hanging out with my friends too much and not spending time with her. Do you have any advice?
That's a classic conundrum, my man. Your girl mad at you, you're not spending enough time with her, not giving her that love that she needs and deserves. I say, forget that girl, bro. Go hang out with your boys. Yeah.
That's great advice, because what you gonna do? Break up with me? Never.
Oh no, they definitely are breaking up. If I'm gonna be single, everyone gonna be single, right? Why don't you come on down to Slow Jam Sundays at SCR? Listen.
So Jerry's the one in the middle, Timba's the one to the left. I learned that Jerry is a vintage fashion consultant in Seoul as well. So they're both DJs, but I'm gonna ask them a little bit to introduce themselves.
I'm Jerry. I'm a teacher here in Seoul.
How long have you been doing that?
3 years, but also taught in the States for 5 years. So back in the States, I taught special education.
That's super hard work, so I hella respect that.
Yeah, my name is Temba. I've been living in South Korea for 6 years.
Damn.
I was teaching. Now I'm mostly DJ. Do other certain things around the community. Help out here and there with some event production and some organizations and stuff.
What kind of event production do you do?
I'm a friend of the Seoul Community Radio crew. Sometimes I help out with them when they do events and things like that
That's
around
cool.
Korea.
So what's your favorite place that you would recommend somebody their first time in Korea?
Oh, Seoul Community Radio.
Seoul
Seoul Community Radio.
Seoul Community
SCR.
Radio? Where is that? What part of town?
SCR is in Itaewon. It's a really a great place for starting DJs or just people who just want to have a good vibe and good home to regularly visit.
I double that. SCR is like one of the most important places for me. I think if you're creative in any kind of way, to hang around at SCR, you'll eventually bump into or rub shoulders with somebody that you want to meet or want to talk to. As a DJ, it's usually the place where we all start our night and we hang out and we have a drink, listen to the new DJs, and then we all go to our respective gigs.
Yeah.
Kind of scatter from there, and then we usually meet up later. So it's like a little clubhouse for some of us in the East One. Yeah, it's just nice.
What's the best spot to get clothes? Because you guys both are pretty stylish, I noticed.
That's my question. So I take people vintage shopping. I'm more of a collector and a curator. Vintage fashion.
Watch out, Jack. Who's Jack, bro? Step back, Daddy-o. Daddy-o. Use one. Jive. Turkey. Are you ready, bitch?
最後はあなたがあなたとこのままおさらばするより死ぬのがいいわ死ぬのがいいわ三度の飯
Yeah, for sure.
Where would you recommend for date spot?
Date spot's crazy. Chunhee.
Chunhee, yeah.
Right here, Chunhee.
Yeah,
Alright, that's where we're all meeting, right?
Test her metal, yeah, see if she's really about it. I'm like, I used to be a cocktail bartender back in the States. So I'm very into that kind of culture. There's a couple of really great bars, cocktail bars in Cheongdam in the Gangnam area that I really love.
Okay.
They're kind of my secret spots, but like I'll give you one.
Alright, thank you. Appreciate
There's
that.
a spot called Kiez, Kiez.
Alright.
Pretty new. They have a beautiful interior, and they have some really inventive cocktails. And the bartenders there are really friendly and nice. And if you really want to impress a girl or impress any date, that's where you should take it.
You guys got any more spots you recommend?
Noe, Nappy, Teller, Hertz.
Alright, wait, where are they? What part of Korea?
These are all in Itaewon.
These are all
Itaewon is that
Itaewon,
if you want
okay.
to be out and you want to be lively and live in a way that isn't really just kind of mainstream, the techno spots in Itaewon.
If
Okay.
you're over the age of 24, I don't think there's anywhere else you should be hanging than Itaewon. Hongdae's for the kids. Chuni's great. Chuni's for adults, but like Hongdae mostly I feel like it's for the kids, except for Modesty. Modesty's tight. I like
Want to see
Modesty.
it on there.
But Itaewon, if you want to listen to good dance music and hang out with really cool people, I think.
Cool. What do you guys think foreigners should know before they come to Korea?
Just be open-minded.
I think be open-minded and consider the concept of nunchi.
Of what?
Nunchi.
Wait, I've heard that word. It's like a word that doesn't exist in English.
Yeah, but like, it's like spatial. It's like awareness. I call it like court vision. You got to see what's going on around you, and you have to like be able to consider other people around you and how you are taking space and how that affects the people around you. So a lot of foreigners, they walk around like they don't have any nunchi,
Yeah.
and I think that's the stuff that ripples the water. I think that Korea is an amazing place. You're allowed to be yourself, but I think that you should respect and give respect to the people who are here and how welcoming they are to you at the border.
I think the English translation is just be considerate.
Yeah, consider it.
Mindful of your space.
You gotta have that Steve Nash court vision
Got it.
where you see what's going on around. Yeah.
So how did you two meet?
Just being out in the scene.
I met you the first time that I played at a little bar in Itaewon.
Yeah.
You was working at that bar in Itaewon. I think a lot of my friends I've met through music or through the creative industries, like just creative people in Seoul, especially the foreigner communities.
Would you guys say you mostly hang out with like other expats, or is it both?
It's a mix.
It's just an open scene where just like it's a small area where if you are a nice person, you're going to hang out with each other.
I feel like in our scene, like, because we mostly hang around the house and techno scene in Itaewon.
That's
it's a
it.
big mix of foreigners and local Koreans, Koreans.
Yeah.
So if you're about that kind of music or those kinds of parties, then like usually we can get along. So
Yeah.
a lot of my friends are both foreigners and Korean.
Would you say it's like easier to connect with Koreans if they have that in common with you? Otherwise, it's like not easy.
100%. I think so. I think a lot of the time it's Koreans who have a bit of a more worldly mindset. Or
Yeah.
have often traveled outside of Korea, and Koreans who have traveled outside
Oh, got it.
in like maybe been to Europe or the Americas or somewhere else and heard this kind of music and come back and they want to do it here. So we have that in common with just like loving dance music and loving like the rave culture.
And did you learn Korean once you moved here, or did you like learn it before you came?
한국말 조금 like I want to learn more Korean, but it's a little bit difficult to learn Korean.
Yeah, but you're trying.
still have another candy?
Okay.
That's Gigi, the owner of Chunhee, and he's super cool, like I said. He's trying to get us outside.
And we got the club owner here.
I wish I got to stay and film more of the performer, but I will link everyone below. I had a wonderful time at Chunhee. I definitely hope you make time to stop by if you're ever in Seoul. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you liked what you saw.